being that I'm a black man, aka African American, here in America, I can only speak from the perspective of a black man. The black experience, the traumas that we have faced since our enslavement here on this land, it still is in us today. So Dr. Joy DeGrasse has a book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and this book is basically the blueprint to understand who we are and our traumas. And she's actually a psychiatrist trying to help people, black people, understand that you just don't have PTSD, as American tried to give you, or depression. You also have PTSS, which stands for Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and we're struggling with it even when we don't realize it.
I've been in a depressed state. That's a sign of depression to me. Like, I'm just here and don't give a fuck about me, whether I live or die. So what's the point of being here? And you know, yeah, I was depressed. I had to climb out of that shit, bro. It was a dark feeling.
Like, we all do things, you know. You feel me? Like, and because, like, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but like, I feel as though I get depressed a lot, you feel me? So I do things that I know I shouldn't do, or I overly do things that maybe I don't even want to do, but I do it just because it's a filler. You feel me? And just because
Because you're depressed?
Yeah, like, depression, I don't like depression. I don't think depression is. It's like one word, but it got like so many facets of describing it. You feel me? Like I like sticking my head under the water when I'm in a tub. Though I like it. Sometimes it's depression for me to escape and close and get away from it. You feel me? So it's like, it can be many different things. You feel me? Like, it's not just one word. You feel me? Like, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot, for real.
It starts at the root of our ancestors. So you may not have a direct connection to an ancestor that might have came out of slavery, but just the fact alone that colonial law says that if you look black, if you were African, if you were a Native American or indigenous native, you were subjected to slavery. So flat, it applies to us all. So whether you are directly connected to someone that you know of that was a slave or not, this still applies to you. My name is Mosiah Fit. Birth name was Charles Blanding. It's my father's name. Born and raised in Baltimore City, Maryland. Grew on Walbrook and Monroe. Family had the same house since 1940. Basically had a Christian upbringing. Grew up in a very loving home with grandparents and things as that. But when it came down to my father, very abusive.
I get depressed a lot, you feel me? So I do things that I know I shouldn't do, or I overly do things that maybe I don't even want to do, but I do it just because it's a feeling. You feel me? And just because
Because you're depressed.
yeah, like my name's Twan. 24. I'm a Taurus. And this is my perspective on mental health.
My knowledge on mental illness that a person could be born with it, and life experiences and life traumas can create mental illness. You feel what I'm saying? Things that people have been through in their childhood or some type of traumatic experience they've been through. That's why I say I might got one, because I ain't been through a lot of traumatic shit. I just never had a place to vent and say it for a motherfucker to diagnose me with it. But my name is Maurice, and this is my perspective on mental health.
When it came down to my father, very abusive. Had a lot of challenges with my spirituality as I got older, being such a hardcore Christian, but then looking at the contradictions in the world with terrorism and crusades and the history of just Christianity caused me to have a lot of complications in my teenage years. So I would say my challenge of who God was began to change, and that's when my spiritual base really became more liberal, open, and free. Dealing with those things, dealing with background abuse, dealing with my struggle with spirituality, trying to understand who I am and what my purpose is, led me up to the point where I guess you'll say I just found a new me.
My anxiety runs so deep. I got anxiety around family, bro. Like, you feel me? So it's like, I don't know. Like, I think anxiety also ties into depression at the same time, because like I think I have anxiety around people because I don't want to be around people, and this is tied into the idea of depression. I don't want to be around people because I'm depressed about what I'm in. You feel me? So I know for a fact when I'm living good, feeling good, happy, got money in my pocket, you feel me? Just basic things. My anxiety is higher. So my depression is, you feel me? But my anxiety is also, so I want to be around people now because I have something to offer. If I decrease the level of my depression, I also decrease the level of my anxiety. But I mean, they'll both come up. You feel me? I want to be around more people, and then my anxiety will lessen.
Does your environment play a part in your mental?
Oh my God. my environment.
Yes, sir.
That's the cause. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, nigga, East Baltimore, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Shit. What the fuck? Hell yeah, eat. Like, nigga. They the niggas that be like, God damn, bro. Niggas, yes. Yes, it plays a big part. It influence a lot of my behaviors. You understand what I'm saying? I'll never forget. I'm gonna tell you a story. How I even got to eat was touching that shit. And this what I'm saying. Your environment. You feel what I'm saying? Because when I went to Lake, you know, I'm 16, 15 years old. At this time, you trying to find yourself. You know. At this time, I just got out of the shelter. We got set out. I was in the shelter for like, me and my brother and my mother for like 6 months, you know. I was dealing with that. The embarrassment of it, I ain't even got nowhere to go. We had a fucked up situation, but thought about selling drugs to, you know, to get out of the situation. So, no, it crossed my mind. Fuck that shit. I'm in the shower. I was thinking about this shit. Like, if I was selling drugs, I probably wouldn't even be in this shit right now. You feel what I'm saying? But I was going to Lake, and I seen, you know, we used to get on the bus, you know, Lake Clifton at that time. You know, you went up there. This is a whole different lake. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a whole different lake. It was wild up there this time. You know, niggas flying, niggas selling drugs. And I got on the bus, right? I see, you know, I used to get on the bus, see this little red bone chick. Man, on her. As soon as these two niggas got on there, they was selling drugs. He whipped out the cash. Like, god damn, where you got all that fucking money from? The same red bone chick I was liking, guess who she gravitated to?
That drug dealer.
Right. So it was a big guy on there, you know. Old fat nigga used to tell jokes all the time. You know what he said? Yo, how you get out of that motherfucking money? Yo, you gotta get out there, yo. I never forget that day. And from that moment on, I get some motherfucking drugs.
He was out there.
I gotta get some motherfucking drugs. See, just by saying that, you know, that's what, not knowing what the consequences of that shit was. All you see is the money and the bitches. You know, I ain't never was no kingpin nigga, but that's what led me to the life, you feel me? And that's what lead a lot of niggas to that life. And our environment promotes that shit. You understand what I'm saying? And it promotes a way of thinking. Like, this the only way you gonna get what you get is if you do this. Like, we're not taught the ways to cultivate ourselves to make different streams of money. We're not. You feel what I'm saying? And we taught that. And our environment very toxic.
Being that I'm a black man, aka African American, here in America, I can only speak from the perspective of a black man, the black experience, the traumas that we have faced since our enslavement here on this land, it still is in us today. So Dr. Joy DeGrasse has a book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And this book is basically the blueprint to understand who we are and our traumas. And she's actually a psychiatrist trying to help people, black people, understand that you just don't have PTSD, as American tried to give you, or depression. You also have PTSS, which stands for Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And we're struggling with it even when we don't realize it.
I can't really say I'm closed off because I'm closed off anyway, but the people that I'm closed off with, when I'm closed off, when I'm not, you know, depressed, I close them off too, you feel me? So it's like, I can be in the bed with my girl and she ain't even there. You feel me? Like I'm talking about like, you know, like days of not talking type shit. Like, don't even know why you're mad. You feel me? Just not talking. You feel me? Like we all do things, you know. You feel me? Like, and because, like, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone, but, like, I feel as though I get depressed a lot. You feel me? So I do things that I know I shouldn't do, or I overly do things that maybe I don't even want to do, but I do it just because it's a filler. You feel me? And just because I'm...
Because you're depressed.
Yeah, like, depression... I don't like depression... I don't think depression is... It's like one word, but it got, like, so many facets of describing it. You feel me? Like I like sticking my head under the water when I'm in a tub. Do I like it? Well, sometimes it's a depression for me to escape and close and get away from. You feel me? So like it can be many different things. You feel me? Like it's not just one word. You feel me? Like it's a lot, bro. It's a lot for real.
Yeah, when you feeling low on yourself, you feel like you're alone in the world. Nobody gives a fuck about you. That's my form of somebody that suffered from depression.
Have you yourself suffered? Have you yourself suffered from depression because of those things?
Yeah.
You ever felt them?
Yeah, I had. Yeah, but you know, yeah, it's a mental thing, man. It's a mental thing because I had a lot of people come against me and, you know, leave me hanging and all that shit. Yeah, that shit'll make you feel like that's when you do nothing wrong. You just feel like motherfuckers just don't fuck with you just because of you. You feel what I'm saying? That shit be crazy, but yeah, I've suffered that. There's a lot of times I felt low. And I ain't feel like a motherfucker gave a fuck about me. It was just me. And, you know, just me. Only one I could say that always been in my corner was my mother. I could say my father too. But other than that, outside of that, like, you understand what I'm saying? And you know, it shouldn't be that way. So people won't feel that way. You feel what I'm saying? And it's wild, yo. It's wild, and it's a very, very dark feeling, and because from depression leads to suicide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it leads to suicide, and that came across my mind once or twice, because I was that low. You understand what I'm saying? Like why the fuck you even here, nigga?
Same.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about you. Who is you? Just take yourself out. Me, like, it felt like the devil and the negative energy was such how I get that out. I keep moving, you feel what I'm saying? So, yo, real talk, E.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I can tell you that. I ain't saying that I constantly thought about it, but it had crossed my mind, and that's where it formed from.
I was talking to this girl, and we was in a car, and she was like, I was 20 years old, and she was like, we was just talking, you feel me? She was like, you ain't got your car yet? And I said, not yet. She was like, why? I was like, I got time. When I tell you she gave me, it's still playing in my mind till this day. And it's like, I don't know how to get out of that original answer. I tried to work more. And then when I try to work more, what I work more towards, it ain't producing, so it's like...
More than I'm working for. So that neglecting yourself, it seems to weigh a lot on you.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, what things do you do? What do you want to do?
Be honest, the only thing. The way I got here, I want to be able to pull up in a car. That's it. But right now, that's it. You know, house, all that too, but I think just a car be fine. Short. That's on the short term. That's just short time. Like you know steps to do that, of course, but like the steps ain't so hard, bro. Not hard, but like the joints kick your ass. So it don't matter if I say $5,000. You got $700 every month just for like this. It's crazy. And then you got family. Like in my part is like, it's crazy how, like you got the silver spoon, but it's not so fucking silver. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And I'm not trying to like downplay the idea or nothing like that. Because I'm very grateful. But it's like, I still been alone. It's like, it's hard to explain, bro, how you play football, wrestle. Like
Don't select support.
yeah, for when we got a job, though. I mean, but it's like a job not what I need, bro. Like a job. Trade or something. I don't know. I just want some money, bro. That's all I want. I just want access to. You know, we're young, bro. We're supposed to. I just feel as though I can do it, Jack. More consistently enough. That's what makes me feel good, honestly. I haven't had, that's the only thing I haven't had, to be honest. Out of, had fake love, had real love. Never had consistent dollar to where you can build on it. You know, that's all I want to do is build, bro. That's the only reason why I want the money. You feel me? Cause like, like, my ideas aren't selfish if they blow, but because your ideas is yours right now. You feel me? This is no help. You know? That's for right now. That's the last 2 years. You feel me? It's just no help. You know?
Post-traumatic slave syndrome is all of the physical, psychological, spiritual effects of the aftermath of slavery. But it gets almost like into what she calls forensics trauma, which is, okay, so if your aunt or your uncle came from someone that was enslaved, their actions and mind thinking is actually influenced by what they were taught by those who were enslaved. So it passed on from generation to generation, or just the means of survival of how we tried to survive post Jim Crow era, post civil rights era, up to today. All of that is influenced from slavery, so it affects us all in some form or factor. I'm more affected by, well, for one, of course, my own mental illnesses, what I have diagnosis for, but I'm also affected more by seeing other people struggle. Like, I'm more affected by knowing the history, the real truth of America, and the aftermath, what has come out of the criminal activity that this country has done on black people, and how we are still in those deprived states today due to what they've been doing to us since day one. So because I'm knowledgeable of it and I understand it, it traumatizes me that more because I see it and I understand it now. She brings this out real good. This reckless birthing of children today, you know, not having a family structure, but reckless sex, having children, and no family structure. Okay, when you talk about a breeding farm, 18th century Virginia colony, right, had one of the biggest breeding farms. You talking about 14, 13, 12-year-old girls being thrown into a stable where a buck, not no horse, a black man who has specific genetic traits about him would rape that 13, 12-year-old girl, and he had a quota that he had to meet. He might have to impregnate 12 women for the year, but he had a quota of how many black women had to be impregnated. And a lot of us come from that breeding farm. A lot of our ancestors were breeding like dogs and rats, right? So just this reckless fucking, not caring about where your child gonna grow, not caring about who this woman is you having sex with, not really understanding or knowing her, just it being placed upon you. But think of how we do things today, right? It's just reckless sex. But if you look at ancient Africa, it wasn't a proud thing to be a slut. It wasn't a proud thing to be a bitch. It wasn't a proud thing to act like a Nicki Minaj or nothing like that, because there were certain morality, certain codes that people went by, right? But when you got to the plantation, right, certain acts was done on our women that they are practicing today. You understand? Like I'm not saying orgies never happened in Africa, but what I'm saying is our women were forced into orgies, right? Forced into sodomy, forced into having sex with their own family members. Fathers were forced to have sex with their mothers. They may not have known it, you know. Like that was the special essence to the slave master of the African. You know, they was just these sexual monsters, and they could do whatever you. No, it's because you forced them to do that. So, as they call them, these perversions, a lot of these sexual activities that we're doing today come from out of slavery. You know, it comes from that. You know, think about a lot of our African men who were raped by their white slave masters. Raped. I mean, you're a man, and you being broken down in front of your family and raped in front of them. You know. We have a tendency to not want to acknowledge trauma in ourselves. We like to appear to be strong, or we're so concerned of the social perspective of who we are that stands in the way of us healing ourselves. You know, being in denial.
I'm gonna talk about black men that we not in tune to speak on situations like that because we supposed to be tough all the time, not knowing that if anybody getting beat up by life is us. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's always pressure on us everywhere we go. And we the number one target everywhere we go. And anything that wrongs that happens, we're to blame for. So we're not taught to express how we feel about certain things. And a lot of that shit, a lot of the violence come from that. Trust me, I know. A lot of the violence come from that. And niggas going through a lot, they just don't know how to express it. You feel what I'm saying? Through their personal experiences coming up, because I grew up, man. I was born in the 80s. I seen a lot of niggas had a lot of rougher situations to be. And you see how they upcoming was and the shit they had to go through at a young age. Like, that's why that nigga like that. But nobody seemed to give a fuck. So, like, what are we doing here? You think that nigga out there because he had a good life? He had a good upbringing? Oh, like, what you think he... You don't understand what the situation that led to him being there, and it could have been stopped if somebody grabbed him? Come on, man. I don't like that shit, bro. Because we go through the most. We go through the most, my nigga. And a lot of us like that, whether we want to admit it or not. But trust me, man, I see in the niggas' face. That's why when I'm in the street and I see niggas that's fucked up in a fucked up situation, and they talk about what they're going through, I never shy away from it. I talk because I know what it is, nigga. And I ain't gonna tell you nothing that I ain't already been through, my nigga. I know what it is, and a lot of us go through that. Like I say, man, I've been through a lot. I ain't saying I've been through the most, but man, I ain't gonna let shit break me, bro. Cause I'm here. You understand what I'm saying? I'm here. I ain't been to that place where I was like this. But I just told you on camera. I just told you I contemplated suicide once, my nigga. Straight up. Laying in the bed, man. I ain't had no money, no nothing. I'm laying on the fucking floor, my nigga. And I'm like, yo, what type of grown ass man laying on the floor, nigga? You need to kill yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Dirty clothes, just feeling low. Nobody ain't know that. Ain't nobody like, yo, you good, yo? You understand what I'm saying? Your skin, man. And the fact that you're a man. That's all that. Nobody ain't supposed to look out for you, my nigga. You feel me? Nobody supposed to, because you the sacrificial lamb out this motherfucker. Because you know why? You know why? Because people are trained to see black men in fucked up states, and they normalize it. Like, this where you're supposed to be at. It's normalized for niggas to be fucked up and die in the street. You don't think that contribute to my PTSD, knowing that if I die today, tomorrow motherfucker wouldn't even give a fuck about me, other than probably my mother and the people that's immediately close to me? Yeah, that'll make a nigga feel some type of way. You see how bodies all on TV, niggas getting murdered and shit. You think we don't suffer from PTSD? The black man. Just off you looking at TV can depress you. Like, come on, man. So imagine, and we in Baltimore. So imagine what I see. You just be amazed how much a nigga go through. And I talk to black men. I ain't gonna say nigga, I talk to black men, my nigga. I don't be with all that. Because I know we the most misunderstood. You understand what I'm saying? And I know niggas be walking around and shit be like, man, and I know they gonna give a fuck about me, bro. And that's where a lot of that violence and anger come from. I know it does. Because you feel like a nigga don't give a fuck about you. Why the fuck you should give a fuck about everybody else? You know your mind ain't right, your body ain't gonna be right, and it's gonna show. It's gonna show. So the system made for us to be crazy. It should be things that should be in place to heal us from certain situations we've been through, so it can make us better as men. You understand what I'm saying? But it's not designed like that.